This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Right now at 6 on Good Morning Indiana. Her son killed by gunfire a year ago. Now she's taking to social media. Only RTV6 is talking to her about her quest to find her son's killer.
Indigo continues to change routes as we enter the new year, and those buses need drivers. This morning, I'm looking at how you can board the bus to a new career.
So once the Christmas holiday is over, what should you do with that evergreen? We're working for you with the options available starting today.
And gifts unwrapped, return season is just getting underway. We're breaking down the stores with the best and worst return policies so you don't waste your money.
It is Thursday, December the 26th. Welcome to Good Morning Indiana. I'm Rafael Sanchez. Our friend Lauren Casey is hopefully sleeping in with Archie and having a good time. She'll be back Monday, right?
Yes, she will be back Monday. I'm Meredith Barrick. Thanks so much for joining us.
How are you?
I'm great. And I just looked up. I wanted to see what today was. Yesterday was Christmas, obviously. So I wanted to see what day was today, what national holiday it was.
Okay, I was going to say it's Thursday.
And it's a holiday made for this girl.
Okay.
National Winers Day.
Yes.
You're allowed to whine about the gifts you didn't receive, all the overeating you did, maybe if you're tired from having to entertain your in-laws all week long. You're allowed to whine it out today.
But the one thing you will not whine about today is an excellent forecast because
you got it, dude.
Todd Clausen is back from vacay with an amazing, wow. Todd?
You know, if I was talking to you and I said 48 to 58 degrees here, what our current temperatures were our highs, I think you'd be happy, right?
Yeah.
We're going even warmer later on this afternoon once again. In fact, we're really going to repeat Christmas all over again as far as temperatures go. Just a little more in the way of cloud cover today. But yeah, 45 to 58 on average is your temperatures right now across central Indiana with mostly cloudy skies. So it's not going to be a day full of sunshine for us. There'll be a little bit of sunshine maybe to start the day. And at times the clouds will thin for some peaks of sunshine. But overall, we'll call it mostly cloudy as a weak front's going to work its way through the area. And eventually that'll bring us some showers later on this evening. But as we get you out the door this morning, and many of you, that's going to be a little later than normal, most likely with the holiday yesterday. But we're looking at temperatures that by the noon hour should be up to about 56 degrees. We'll climb into the low 60s later on this afternoon. And today is not the last day in my 7-day planning forecast that we see temperatures in the 60s. We'll share that with you coming up in just a few minutes.
Todd, thank you so much. And good morning to our friends in Fairland, Greenfield, and Rushville as we take a live look from our in-dot camera. This at I-465 at Ditch Road. As you can see, traffic is really light this morning. Many people still on that holiday schedule. We expect traffic to build up throughout the morning as people return home from the holidays, as well as head out to those malls to find those sales and return those gifts. But for the most part, this morning, no problems to report throughout central Indiana.
New overnight, a man is fighting for his life after being shot on the city's northwest side. The shooting happened around 1:30 this morning near 35th and MLK. Authorities say the man was shot in the chest and the groin just outside of a home. Police say the victim was taken to the hospital in critical condition. However, they are still working on learning what led up to the gunfire. Metro Police tell us the victim is not cooperating with investigators.
Also, do you want Good Morning Indiana? Investigators looking for a suspect after a trade deal goes wrong. Metro Police were called to the Walgreens near West 30th and Kessler around 10:30 last night. Officers tell RTV6 a man went to the store with a friend to sell an iPhone. The suspect, a younger man, pulled out a gun, took the phone, and then shot the man selling the phone in the leg. The victim was taken to the hospital, is expected to survive. Police have not released any more details on the suspect.
Also new this morning, an Indianapolis mother is hoping to keep her son's name and legacy alive after he was shot and killed 1 year ago today. Tonight, family and friends are hosting a prayer vigil in Aaron Lamont Grice Jr.'s honor. Our Kelsey Anderson spoke with Aaron's mother. Kelsey joins us live this morning with the details on that vigil and why this mother is not giving up hope 1 year later. Kelsey.
Good morning, Meredith. Well, Aaron Lamont Grice Jr. died 1 year ago today, and one of his final acts was calling his mother for help. And now she is working tirelessly every day to make sure that his name stays alive and that she finds justice for his murder. So the shooting happened here at Canterbury Apartments, and Grice was found shot to death near a dumpster in the complex. His mother, Mary East, tells me they were just 5 minutes away when he called for help, but 5 minutes wasn't enough. When they got to the apartments, she realized he had been beaten and shot, and since his death, East visits these apartments every month, leaving flowers, releasing balloons, and looking for the closure she needs.
I'm grieving, but it's not getting any better because for once, I know they out in the streets, and I know they living their life. But for me to start healing, they said I need to forgive, but I can't forgive someone that they won't even admit to what they did.
Tonight, family and friends will gather at the apartment complex at 6 p.m. for a prayer vigil and a balloon release. Grice had 2 children of his own, and East is hoping that by continuing to talk about her son's death and the grief she and her family are still facing, even on Facebook and also with news media like us, she's hoping that the person responsible for his death will come forward. Now, no suspects or persons of interest have been named in the case in this last year, but Lawrence police still want to hear from you if you know anything about this case that happened on December 26, 2018. You can call Crime Stoppers at 317-262-TIPS. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
The time now is 6:07, and Muncie Mayor, the former mayor of Muncie, Dennis Tyler, will have to wait a little longer for his federal trial to start. In November, Tyler was arrested by the FBI and charged with theft of government funds. His trial was originally set to begin sometime in January, but his attorney has asked the judge to give them more time to negotiate a plea agreement and to prepare for the trial. That new trial date is now set for May the 25th. Tyler is one of 7 people facing charges in Muncie in a corruption probe in that Delaware City town. Tyler will be leaving office at the end of the year. He did not seek re-election.
New this morning, the death of an inmate is under investigation at this hour in Knox County. The Knox County coroner says 34-year-old Roy Henry died after being transported from a work release program. The coroner says CPR was performed on Henry before he was pronounced dead at Vincennes Hospital. It's unclear what led up to Henry's death, but this morning state troopers are investigating the case.
Firefighters say a Christmas gift mishap sparked an apartment fire on the far northeast side of Indianapolis. This happened just after 10 o'clock on Christmas morning near 38th and Franklin Road. According to investigators, a child riding a new hoverboard lost control and hit a counter that had a burning candle on it. That candle fell into a trash bag full of wrapping paper, setting it on fire. Thankfully, no one was injured.
New this morning, police in southeastern Indiana want you to be aware of a counterfeit cash ring. The fake $100 bills looks like the ones you see on your screen right now. Police in Dearborn County say the bills are circulating in and around Lawrenceburg. Authorities say the fake money feels more like paper than real money. The fake cash also has different writings and symbols, including what may be some sort of Asian writing. Police say if you do spot the cash, do not accept the bills as payment.
So you may be looking to shell out some real cash on maybe one of these, a new ride. If you want to see all of your options in one place, there's an event starting today that you need to check out. The Indy Auto Show opens at 10 this morning inside the Indiana Convention Center right here in downtown Indianapolis. The show features all of the latest models of cars, trucks, and SUVs. You'll also get to check out various race cars and meet some Formula 3 drivers as well. The cost, $7 to get in. The auto show runs right here at Indy through January the 1st.
The change of the calendar to 2020 will bring changes to central Indiana's land-based casinos. Harris Hoosier Park in Anderson and Indiana Grand Casino in Shelbyville will unveil live tables for the very first time. They include roulette, 3-card poker, blackjack, and craps. The addition of the live tables have added hundreds of Hoosier jobs at both casinos. Special opening ceremonies and giveaways are planned at both facilities. The games will open to the public at Anderson Anderson and Shelbyville Wednesday afternoon at 1 o'clock.
So now that Christmas is over, the Department of Public Works and Indy Parks, they're not wasting any time helping you get rid of your Christmas tree. Recycling starts today, and you can drop off live trees at 9 different locations. They should only be left at the specifically designated area within the park and only between dawn and dusk. You see the list of drop-off locations on your screen right now. You must also remove ornaments and other decorations. Tree recycling in Indianapolis goes through January the 31st and is only for residents of Marion County. You can find the list of drop-off sites by going to the RTV6 app and clicking on this story.
Grab your next job by the wheel. Coming up at 6:12 and Hiring Hoosiers, the need for more Indigo bus drivers and why current drivers love showing up to work each and every day.
And then at 6:20, the Christmas lights will soon have to come down, or will they? New this morning, the really good reason you should keep them up. But of course, the temperatures are going up, and for that we have to thank our friend Todd Clausen. Good morning, Todd.
And Raphael, good morning to you. Good morning, everybody. The big weather story, as Raphael mentioned, the temperature's nice and mild once again here this morning, but can you enjoy the mild temperatures without precipitation? Well, there is the slight chance of some rain later on today. Better rain chances, though, arrive for the weekend. We'll lay out the temperatures and the rain chances for you coming up in your Storm Team 6 forecast. The time now is 6:11. You're watching Good Morning Indiana right here on RTV6. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Day.
Over the past year, Hiring Hoosiers has shown its commitment to helping you land a job and better your life.
This morning, Indigo already boasts more than 500 employees, and they're looking to add to their roster of drivers as new routes continue to come online.
I'm checking in with one driver who told me why she loves her job so much and why she thinks others should give a career with Indigo a chance. Starting a new job can be a bumpy ride.
Very scared. I heard stories about passengers and the things that they do to drivers.
That was 5 years ago.
I love my passengers, every last one of them.
And Misty El-Shabazz says she's managed to steer clear of any trouble while learning the ropes and the routes being an Indigo driver.
I wasn't really familiar with the city. That will probably be the only challenge for me, is this learning the city.
Those fears are now in the rearview mirror, and she's loving life in the driver's seat.
Great benefits. It pays good. It's a great job all over, I have to tell you. Come aboard.
Indigo doesn't just want you to ride their buses, they need you behind the wheel.
This fall, we are increasing service by about 50%, and then we have the purple line coming on after that and the blue line after that. So over the next several years, we're going to be looking for about 150 additional bus drivers.
To become one of those drivers, you need a GED or high school diploma, plus a clean background check and drug screen.
There are also some functional and physical requirements. So obviously driving a bus, making sure that you're healthy and you can move around and help a passenger strap in who's in a wheelchair.
They also want people who have great customer service skills and are excited about interacting with riders.
Well, have a good day. You too. Don't want you to be late for work.
They're the first ones that you see when you get on the bus, or the last ones that you see, and often they're the only people from Indigo that you would ever interact with.
That's right. That's good.
Misty is hopeful her experience encourages those spinning their wheels in the job search process.
Indigo is a great job. I've been here for 5 years. I had some tough times, but I'm here, and I'm working for you. Indigo. Love my job.
Indigo does help with qualification for your commercial driver's license or CDL, and they offer paid training. They also offer a progressive pay scale once training is complete, ranging from $19 an hour to almost $24 an hour once drivers reach their 2-year anniversary. If you're interested in learning more about a career with Indigo, we've put a link on hiringhoosiers.com. And hey, the good news is if you're standing out at the bus stop today, you're not going to need to be bundled up in your winter jacket. You're not going to need your gloves. You might just sit out there for a while and watch the buses go by. It's so nice out.
Enjoy the transit center. Enjoy the red line go back and forth. Todd Clausen, I mean, it's going to be fantastic out there.
Yeah,
today.
you know, let's put it in perspective for you. Yesterday, we got up to 62 degrees. That's where we're going once again later on this afternoon. So it's another very, very mild day. Where should we be? Well, we should only be getting to 36 degrees for our average high. So obviously, we are well above that after December started off cold, and we had all that snow right before before Christmas. We are now settling into a very mild stretch of weather. And as I had mentioned earlier, in the late fall and beginning of winter, I think this winter is just going to be up and down like we've seen so far this month. There'll be some spurts of cold and some snow, and then we'll kind of flip the switch and warm things up. And I expect this to continue through January into February as well. 49 degrees, that's the current temperature right now. There is a damp feeling out there. You have to remember, we melted off 6 to 8 inches of snow in spots across the area, and all that moisture just went into the ground. So then the ground releases that moisture. And so when you first walk out the door, you'll notice kind of a spring-like damp feel, but nothing falling from the sky as far as precipitation goes. 56 in Martinsville. Bloomington, you're at 58 degrees, 49 in Tipton, 52 is the current temperature in Muncie. We find ourselves in one of the best places, honestly, in the Midwest and the country for that matter, with this mild air that stretches from Chicago all the way down into Arkansas. On either side of this mild air, you notice the temperatures are much, much cooler. So throughout the day today, we'll climb through the 50s during the morning hours, 55 by 11 a.m., close to 60 degrees by 2 p.m., expecting our high to be right around 61, 62 degrees in between the 3 and 4 o'clock hour, with skies that'll be mostly cloudy. Now this evening, there is a weak little front that is going to slide through, and there's not a lot of moisture to work with. You see, the only showers we have here are in northern Michigan. As the front starts to make its way through the area, I am expecting a few hit or miss showers to develop across the area. You notice on TrueCast, everything's very widely scattered, and everything's going to be very light for you as well. We're not looking at a lot in the way of rainfall. Nothing is going to be very heavy. I just want you to know if you're out late tonight, early Friday morning, that you will run into a few of these spotty showers, but temperatures this evening are still going to be in the mid-50s for us all across the area. Now, tomorrow's a little bit cooler. We're still in the 50s. It's not bad, with skies that'll be mostly cloudy, and then we get right back up into the 60s on Saturday and Sunday. Most of Saturday's dry. Showers develop late in the day. Sunday, better rain chances, especially for the first half of the day. And then as we enter the last few days of 2019, and then we ring in the new year, Tuesday night into Wednesday, back to normal with temperatures in the upper 30s, but it looks to be dry for New Year's Eve and New Year's Day.
Todd, thank you. The holidays are a joyful time for many, but soon after, we may feel like we are on a downward slope.
So this is commonly known as post-holiday blues, not to be confused with seasonal affective disorder, which sometimes is contributed because of a lack of sunshine. So let's shed some light on this issue, which is, again, post-holiday blues, a sense of a letdown after the hustle and bustle of the holidays. It usually happens because the holiday season can be a relatively active, as you know, an engaging time for many of us, and then once that's over, we have less to look forward to. But psychologists at Ohio State University say it's normal to feel this way.
You know, I think part of this is just the natural phenomenon of being human. So we get this wonderful season, if we're lucky, right, where we're engaged and we're active and we're getting to, you know, see the people we care about, and there's so much reinforcement that it really is very natural to have a little bit of a sense of letdown.
Experts suggest you plan activities after the holidays to keep yourself engaged, but if these feelings last more than 2 weeks, it may be something more serious than post-holiday blues. The time now is 6:20. I think next year at this time I'm going to get me this headpiece right here. Do you see that? I had like an ornament.
Oh, there
over
you
my
go.
head.
You did. You had a Christmas tree on your
Here's
head.
another one. Looking for some incentive to keep those Christmas lights up a little longer? Why not?
Well, we might have just what you're looking for. Psychiatrists say they really do make most people happy. It's not so much the lights themselves, but the memories they bring. Doctors say it goes all the way back to childhood, when you'd see the lights, and that would be followed by happy events. Of course, it can also cause feelings of sadness if you associate the holidays with trauma. Triggers like this are known as classical conditioning.
Riley Howell was killed in a shooting at the University of North Carolina, Charlotte. New at 6:26, the unique way the makers of Star Wars are paying tribute to the student many now call a hero.
Plus, Michael Bublé is coming to the Circle City. Right now is your chance to win 2 tickets to see the show, courtesy of Good Morning Indiana. The concert is scheduled for April 1st at Bankers Life Fieldhouse. All you have to do is be the 6th caller right now. The phone number is on your screen, 317-269-1459. And if you don't win this half hour, don't worry, because we're giving away more tickets next half hour. We'll be right back.
Good morning to Martinsville, Greenwood and Franklin. In fact, let's stay in Greenwood. This is down in Johnson County, I-65 at Greenwood. As you can see, traffic is pretty light this morning. Again, we're expecting it to build throughout the day as many of you return home from a great holiday couple of days. The weather has been perfect. It is 48 degrees right now in Indianapolis.
All right, to grandfather's house we go, because this Oregon man found a unique way to spend more time with his 10 grandchildren. Doug Hayes bought this school bus just in time for the Christmas season. 5 of Hayes' grandchildren go to a small private school which doesn't have school buses. The other 5 grandkids aren't school age yet, but soon will be. The Grandfather Express, as Doug calls it, will start boarding after Christmas break. What a good idea.
That was a great idea, and what joyfulness to have 10 grandkids.
That is so fun.
Wow. Now, there were a couple of unusual passengers on the Milwaukee County Transit earlier this week. See, a bus driver just finished her route when she spotted 2 dogs, as you can see, running down the street. What's going on here? The animal lover wasn't going to let them wander in the dark and cold. Of course not. The driver called the police, and the dogs were taken to animal control. Luckily, the dog's family called the shelter looking for them.
Oh, that's too funny. Well, here is a great story. A North Carolina hero is being honored with his very own place in the Star Wars series. 21-year-old Riley Howell was one of 2 students killed in the UNC Charlotte shooting last April. A Lucasfilm spokesperson says someone from Riley's hometown told the production company about Howell's story. The company says they're remembering Riley in the only way they saw fit, by naming him a Jedi Master in the Star Wars galaxy in his honor. Pretty incredible there. Taking a turn now at 6:26. Something else incredible is this weather we are having. We are so lucky.
You know, temperatures, when I walked off the plane yesterday evening, I was like, whoa, it's better here.
Did the plane really land in Indy?
Where did we land?
Yeah.
You know, it felt so good, and we're just going to continue those mild temperatures here this morning and really for the next few days. That is the good news. Hovering generally right around 50 degrees right now in most locations, just a degree or 2 cooler here in the city. Up to about 55 degrees by the time we get to 10 a.m. and then we'll just continue to see our temperatures warm here later on this afternoon. Almost everybody should climb up to 60 degrees. For some of you, Bloomington, Columbus, 63, maybe even 65 degrees here. It will be mild, but it will be cloudy. We're not expecting a ton in the way of sunshine today, but all in all, hey, when you're talking about 60s towards the end of December, you certainly cannot complain.
Todd, thank you so much. Holiday shopping season is now holiday return season. This year, even the most generous stores have started tightening their return policies.
And this morning, John Matarese is working for you with some of the best and worst retailers for returns, so you don't waste your money.
The weeks of shopping are over. Now it's time to enjoy those holiday gifts. But what if you don't want 1 or 2? Well, then you need to know which stores you'll need to rush to bring them back. Stores used to give us months, even a year, to return holiday gifts. Not anymore. ConsumerWorld.org says for the 2019 holiday season, a number of major stores have tightened the screws. Among them, Best Buy. January 14th is the return deadline for most holiday purchases. Walmart, TVs must be returned within 30 days, not 90 anymore. The Apple Store, just 14 days. Target, 30 days for electronics, 15 days for Apple items. And Macy's, 90 days instead of 6 months. And from the Doesn't That Stink file, the disappearing lifetime return policy. LL Bean used to replace boots and backpacks forever, but that changed last year, which could have you saying, doesn't that stink? If your boots split after a few years, even Nordstrom, which used to take anything back without a receipt, is now limiting returns to prevent customers from borrowing dresses and then returning them. Sure, no need to rush out the first couple of days after Christmas when return lines are longest, but don't wait much longer than January 8th, just to be safe so you don't waste your money. Working for you, I'm John Matarese. Good morning, Indiana.
That one, Good Morning Indiana. On this Thursday morning, here's a look at your 6:30 news feed. A man fighting for his life after being shot on the city's northwest side. The shooting happened around 1:30 this morning near 35th and MLK. Police say the victim was taken to the hospital in critical condition. They also say he is not cooperating with investigators.
Police are also looking for a suspect after a shooting at a Northwest Side Walgreens. We're told a man went to the store at West 30th and Kessler around 10:30 last night to sell an iPhone. That's when a younger man pulled out a gun, took the phone, then shot the victim in the leg.
A man in critical condition after a fire at an apartment on the city's south side. Crews called to Lockwood Court, that's near Southport Road and South Meridian, just before 12:30 on Christmas Day. They found a man trapped inside. He was taken to the hospital in critical condition. The cause of this fire is still under investigation.
An Illinois man has been sentenced for the 2017 stabbing death of his cousin in Kosciuszko County. Derek Laval Wandrick was sentenced to 55 years in prison as part of a plea agreement. His cousin, David Lamont Strouder Jr., was stabbed 63 times and left in a ditch. Wandrick claimed he did not remember the incident, but has since apologized.
A Danville police officer and Hendricks County dispatcher credited with saving a man's life on Christmas Day after an apparent overdose. Officers found the man unconscious at a home on West Lincoln Street. Police say a dispatcher helped talk a family member through CPR. Officer J.V. Settlemar then used his department-issued Narcan on the man, and he started breathing again. That man is now being treated at the hospital. A first responder, two heroes during this Christmas holiday week. We do appreciate what they do. Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana on this Thursday, December the 26th. We are grateful to have had 2 days off, but we are grateful that you've joined us again on what will be an amazing day here in Indianapolis.
And I think our Todd Clausen can be classified as a hero with this forecast that he is bringing us. We had a great Christmas Eve and a great Christmas. Today is going to be no different, Todd, which is great for anyone who might be heading home after celebrating the holidays.
You know, any travel, not only here in central Indiana, but much of the Midwest is just going to be fine because temperatures are going to be well above normal no matter where you're going in any of our neighboring states. So as you walk out the door this morning, if you do have to head to work, the only thing you really need to grab is a light jacket. That's all you need. You do not need the hat. You don't need the gloves. You don't need that heavy winter coat. There may be a few peaks of sunshine at times here throughout the day today, but overall, we are looking at mostly cloudy skies, and you see those clouds already starting to filter in. Still a little bit of clear skies as you work your way to the Bloomington and Greensburg area, but that is just about it. But there is a cold front that's going to come through, or we should call it a cool front, because it's not drastically going to reduce our temperatures. But as it comes through, it'll be just enough moisture there. I think that it rings out a few spotty showers. I wouldn't worry so much about the 20% chance you see there at the noon hour into 2 o'clock. But once we get sunset and beyond, that's when we'll have the chance of some very light patchy drizzle, a few showers here and there. But temperatures, they are going to be in great shape today. We're starting off with temperatures generally right around 50 degrees. By the noon hour, we'll be near 60 already. Most of us should see our temperatures climb into the low 60s for your afternoon highs. We'll talk more about that and look ahead into your weekend as well, coming up in just a few minutes.
Good morning to Anderson, Arcadia, and Amity. And don't worry, you do not have too much eggnog. We're getting this camera into focus, but as we bring our traffic situation into focus, I-70 east of the airport ramps, as you can see, quite busy as people are heading towards the airport as they head back home. Most traffic around central Indiana is pretty good this morning, considering, of course, the heavy travel season that we're in. So good morning and safe travels as you head back to home, and welcome back for those of you coming back today. The time now is 6:32. An Indianapolis mother hoping to keep her son's name and legacy alive after he was shot and killed 1 year ago today.
Tonight, family and friends are hosting a prayer vigil in honor of Aaron Lamont Grice Jr. Our Kelsey Anderson spoke with the young man's mother. Kelsey joins us live this morning with more on how they plan to pay tribute to her son. Kelsey.
Good morning. So Aaron Lamont Grice Jr. was shot and killed 1 year ago today. And while he was laying on the ground fighting for his life, one of the last things he did was call his mom for help. And now every day she is fighting to keep his story alive and find justice for his murder. Now, the shooting happened at Canterbury Apartments, and Grice was found shot to death near a dumpster in the complex. His mom, Mary East, tells me they were just 5 minutes away when he called for help, but 5 minutes wasn't enough. When they got to the apartments, she realized he had been beaten and shot, and since his death, East visits these apartments every month, leaving flowers and releasing balloons and looking for the one thing she needs to help her move on.
All I need is justice. That's all I want. That's all. I'm going to always fight. If it's got to be that day or every month, it's going to be. I'll be out in these apartments every month again to fight for justice until I get justice.
Tonight, family and friends will gather at the apartment complex at 6 p.m. for a prayer vigil and a balloon release. Grice had 2 children of his own, and East is hoping that by continuing to talk about her son's death, both on social media and in person to the public, that showing the grief and her and the entire family face every day, that the person responsible will come forward or someone with information will talk to police. Now, no suspects or persons of interest have been talked about in this case over the last year, but Lawrence police are still working on this case actively, and they want to hear from you if you know anything. You can call Crime Stoppers at 317-262-TIPS. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
A mother in mourning with a message for all of us today. Kelsey, thank you so much. The time now is 6:35. A South Bend woman has a message for the porch pirate. She says stole her wedding dress, and she's putting it all out in full display. You see, Stacia Giese got married in June. After the wedding, she gave her mother her dress to have it cleaned. Her mother shipped the dress back to her while she was out of town, and Stacia says the package was stolen from her front porch. She put up this giant sign hoping the thief will feel guilty and return it, no questions asked.
I wanted to be able to have that saved, and if there was a piece of it, like that my daughter or I have 2 younger sisters, if one of them wanted to use the belt or the veil, and so not having it, it's just kind of knowing that, well, I'm not going to be able to pass that on.
Stacia says she put up that sign after she tried to find the thief by leaving some fake packages outside her home, but that sting operation did not work.
We seem to hear a lot about the impeachment for much of 2019, but there was a lot more in the news, some of which you may have forgotten. Up next, a look at some of the most important stories of the year. We'll be right back.
Like most years, 2019 featured tragedy, hope, and historic achievements. And at times it seems like so much is just happening so quickly, it's easy to forget some of the big news stories of the year.
Of course, much of the year has been dominated by the hearings that led to the impeachment of the president. But as Nadia Romero tells us, there were many other stories that captured our attention throughout 2019.
It doesn't feel like impeachment. And you know what? It's a phony deal. And they cheapen the word impeachment.
President Donald Trump lashing out against House Democrats who voted to make him the 3rd president ever to be impeached. The vote was sparked by investigation into President Trump that shook up Washington for months, prompted by an anonymous whistleblower report alleging President Trump and White House officials held back aid to Ukraine and pressured its new president to announce an investigation into the Bidens. Despite the impeachment actions in the House, the Mueller report did not find sufficient evidence to charge Trump or his campaign with criminal conspiracy connected with the 2016 Russian election interference.
There's an escalating acts are not madness. They are driven by hate.
Mass shootings continue to plague the nation in 2019. On February 15th, 5 were killed at a business in Aurora, Illinois. On May 31st, 12 were killed at a Virginia Beach municipal building. On July 28th, 3 were killed at the Garlic Festival in Gilroy, California. On August 3rd, 22 people were killed at an El Paso Walmart. Hours later, on August 4th, 9 people were killed outside a bar in Dayton, Ohio. On August 31st, 7 people were killed in a shooting spree in West Texas. And on November 4th, 9 Americans were killed in an ambush in northern Mexico.
Sick and dying, they brought themselves down here to speak.
After years of battling with Congress, 9/11 first responders and victims won their fight. President Trump authorized the 9/11 Victim Compensation Fund through the year 2090.
So measles has come back.
2019 saw the worst measles outbreak in the U.S. since 1992, after the disease was declared eliminated in 2000. More than 1,200 cases were reported in more than 30 states. The outbreak was linked to unvaccinated international travelers. Vaping tightened its deadly grip on America in 2019. Around 50 people have died of lung illnesses linked to vaping, and more than 2,500 cases of lung injuries have been reported nationwide, sparking a battle between lawmakers and e-cigarette companies, especially over flavored products targeting younger Americans. Hollywood was rocked by the arrest of high-profile actresses Felicity Huffman and Lori Loughlin. The celebs were just two of dozens charged by the Justice Department for using their wealth and status to bribe college admission administrations and facilitate cheating on standardized testing.
Can I give her a hug, please?
Tears flowing in a Texas courtroom. The brother of a murdered victim embracing his brother's killer. Amber Geiger, a former Dallas police officer, was sentenced to 10 years in prison for killing Botham John, an unarmed black man in his own apartment. Firing up one of the largest strikes against an American company ever. Nearly 50,000 General Motors employees walked off the job. The strike came to an end when the United Auto Workers Union voted in favor of a 4-year labor deal.
We woke up to seeing things flying off the walls.
Two back-to-back earthquakes rocked Southern California, the strongest to strike the area in 20 years, destroyed homes and businesses, and generated thousands of aftershocks.
We know that recovery is a long-term thing.
After being battered by Hurricane Dorian, Ocracoke Island, a popular tourist destination off the coast of North Carolina, reopened more than 2 months after the storm devastated the island. Dorian was the strongest hurricane on record to hit the Bahamas, making landfall as a monster Category 5 storm, killing dozens, leaving many missing, and devastating Abaco Island. A historical milestone took place 250 miles above Earth, the first all-female spacewalk outside the International Space Station.
For us, this is really just us doing our job.
I'm Nadia Romero, and those are some of the nation's most impactful stories of 2019.
Nadia, thank you. It's the news Pacer fans have been waiting for. You won't see him yet, but just ahead, we'll look at when number 4 might be back on the floor. Let's check it out with Todd Clausen before you head out the door. Todd?
Yeah, as you walk out the door, some of you may be heading to work, some of you may be heading back to the mall, or maybe some of you just outside for a walk with these mild temperatures. Look at this. We're in the 50s here throughout the morning hours. Skies are mostly cloudy, but it's dry right now. We're into the 60s later on this afternoon, but rain chances do return later on this evening. We'll have your forecast for your Thursday and beyond coming up when Good Morning Indiana continues. The time now is 6:43. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Here at Andy Moore.
At 6:45, health officials are trying to track down people in 5 states who may have been exposed to the measles. You see, authorities say between December the 14th and December the 17th, an unidentified man infected with measles visited the airport and several other locations around Austin, Texas. He then took off United Flight 790 from Austin to O'Hare in Chicago, which made a connection at the Richmond Airport in Virginia. Also recently, 3 children visiting from New Zealand likely exposed travelers to measles at Denver and Los Angeles international airports.
I don't talk about my business except for when they ask me what's the good news, and I just had to testify.
Pacers fans got a Christmas present with word of when Victor Oladipo might return to the court. ESPN reporting that the All-Star may return by late January or early February. Oladipo has not played since rupturing his right quad tendon 11 months ago. Even without him in the lineup, the Pacers are 21-10 and in 5th place in the Eastern Conference standings.
We look forward to his return, and we love the music. We are jamming along on this Thursday, December the 26th. Hey.
And I feel like we should play some summertime weather due to the temps that we have outside. I don't know. Walking on sunshine comes to mind, but we're going to have some cloud cover today. Regardless, it is going to be nice outside. People don't have to worry about if they're traveling. Todd, I know that's always a big thing on December 26th. Yeah. If flights are going to be delayed, but none of those worries.
Nope. No. You shouldn't have any issues here weather-wise this morning. It's mild. We have clouds in place, but no heavy precipitation. So, yeah, travel in and around not only central Indiana, but our neighboring states just fine here this morning. And most of the country, and for matter, is pretty quiet for that matter. So as we go throughout the course of this morning, it's a mild start, as we mentioned. Skies are mostly cloudy. Sunrise is at 8:05. Some of you probably sleeping in a little bit later than normal here. And as you walk out the door and get your day going, whatever whatever that may hold, you are going to be in pretty good shape. 49 degrees right now. That's the current temperature. The wind's out of the south at 5 miles per hour. And these temperatures range from 58 in Bloomington. That's the warm spot. 54 in Lafayette. 52 is the current temperature in Muncie, and 48 in Connorsville. So it's a great day to walk the dogs. The dogs will be happy. They'll want to go out for a longer walk here for the day today. And our featured dog is Harley, sent in by Lisa Hauser up in the Peru area. So if you see Harley out in the neighborhood, make sure you say hi. And as far as the forecast goes, we'll give you a green pause starting off in the upper 40s, right around 50 degrees this morning. And temperatures will eventually climb up into the 60s later on this afternoon. There's kind of a damp feel this morning, but we're not dealing with any precipitation falling from the sky, but the clouds continue to build in. And some of you will have a little bit of sunshine at times throughout the day today, but overall, we're looking at mostly cloudy skies. There's just a weak little front off to our west, and as that front slides through, it's going to try to manufacture just a few isolated showers in this forecast as we work our way throughout the course of mainly the evening hours. There could be a stray sprinkle here this afternoon, especially down to the south, but it's really once sunset happens and beyond that we start to bring in these scattered showers across the area. Everything will be very, very light if you do even see it at all this evening. So that is the good news. And then as we continue into Friday morning, by the time we get to Friday morning's commute, if you have that in store for you, most of those showers should be out of the area. Tomorrow it's a little bit cooler, down to 54 degrees, but then we're right back into the 60s for Saturday and Sunday, but the trade-off will be some rain. Now, most of Saturday, the first half of the day, is going to be dry with just mostly cloudy skies. It's really not until Saturday evening we start to bring these showers in. And then overnight Saturday into Sunday, the rain is going to be fairly steady, could even be heavy at times into Sunday morning, and then the rain chances decrease Sunday afternoon with a high of 62 degrees. May end as a few snow showers on Monday as the colder air comes back in. And then New Year's Eve looks to be quiet with a high temperature right around 38 degrees.
Todd, thank you. Throwback Thursday is next. Not only are we looking back, we're also saying goodbye. We chronicle the history of a downtown institution where the last call is just a few days away.
And Michael Bublé is coming to the Circle City. Right now is your chance to win 2 tickets to see the show courtesy of Good Morning Indiana. There he is. There's the sounds. The concert is April the 1st at Bankers Life Fieldhouse. Just be the 6th caller right now. The number to call right there on the screen, 317-269-1459. Call now and good luck. Visit the Hiring Hoosiers job board.
Today, our Throwback Thursday feature takes a look back at a place that will soon be history itself. Ike and Jonesy's will serve up its last call on New Year's Eve.
So it's hard to believe, but there wasn't much happening in downtown Indy when it first opened. But the changing times helped make it one of the places to be. And now more changing times will bring a marvelous 36-year run to a close.
Our editor Michael Hartz put together this report featuring the sights and sounds of Ike and Jonesy's from the past, as well as the legendary bar's owner today as he prepares to say goodbye.
Our motto is, we are the fun damn place downtown. One of the things that I thought was most important was, yes, try to offer a good menu, yes, offer a great price, but give people something to do after they're done with dinner and after and we put the dance floor in. And we did not play industrial music. We played music from people's past.
It's Thursday, it's quarter beer night, it's Ike and Jonesy's, and it's hopping. Ike's was one of the first bars to test the downtown South Meridian Street waters prior to the opening of Union Station. Downtown is happening.
It's like a wedding reception in here. Everybody dances. There was a brand new Hoosier Dome that hadn't been used yet. So I opened up the same day as the Hoosier Dome opened up for football. I used to have the sports bar across the street, and actually during the last push of construction of the Circle Center Mall, I lost my sports bar.
There's nothing left to do but sweep up the sawdust. After more than 10 years, sports is closed forever. Rick Eichholz and longtime partner Doc Wiesner made their last trip to bankruptcy court today and have turned their backs on the once profitable business. Now they look forward to shoring up another downtown bar, Ike and Jonesy's.
We kept this one because it's our name, and we're glad we did. I would like to have stayed a little bit longer, about another 10 years. But this place is going to be a hotel. I believe it's going to be a Holiday Inn, and that's marvelous. I don't fit into their plans. We made a deal that I'm going to leave. I have enjoyed this immensely for the last 36 years. I had the greatest job in the world. So it's time to find something else.
And we wish him all the very best. We want to thank our photographer, Paul Chiodo, for shooting the interview. And, of course, Mike Hart, who's an amazing editor and our archivist here at the station, for always finding what's in the vault here at RTV6.
Yeah, I have a feeling Ike and Jonesy's will be awfully packed in a few days for New Year's Eve. Yes. And if you are heading out for New Year's Eve, we have some good news forecast-wise. You won't be standing out in the snow.
Yeah, you know, there's no snow in the forecast, with the exception of maybe a few snow showers come Monday. But today, it's all about the mild temperatures. We're back up into the low 60s later on this afternoon. Not the brightest day for us, as we'll have mostly cloudy skies, and there could be a few very, very light rain showers after sunset tonight. Tomorrow slightly cooler, but in the mid-50s still. 60s for the weekend. Better chance of rain Saturday night into Sunday morning. And then there's the colder temperatures that come in for the new year.
Todd, thanks. We are back in 25 minutes and throughout Good Morning America with news, weather, and traffic updates.
And remember all the news throughout the day on the RTV6 app. Thanks for watching Good Morning Indiana. Look at that beautiful lights in downtown Indianapolis. Enjoy the day. We'll see you tomorrow.